Ever heard of the Island of the Dolls? Imagine a place where decaying, haunted dolls whisper in the night. But why do they come alive? The chilling truth awaits. Here are the 17 unusual scary traditions from around the world. Number 1. Night of the Radishes, Oaxaca, Mexico. In the heart of Oaxaca, Mexico, December 23rd is no ordinary night. It's a night when the humble radish transforms into an art form. Locals gather for Noche de Rabanos, or Night of the Radishes, a tradition steeped in history and creativity. What began in the 18th century as a simple market tactic has blossomed into a full-blown competition of intricate carvings that would make any sculptor proud. Juan, a radish farmer with weathered hands and a twinkle in his eye, proudly displays his masterpiece. His radish scene tells the story of La Llorona, the weeping woman of Mexican folklore, with painstakingly carved details that seem to come alive in the flickering candlelight. It's all about tradition, Juan says with a grin. These radishes may be small, but they hold big stories. As visitors marvel at the radish artistry, the air fills with the scent of fresh vegetables and the buzz of excitement. From scenes of ancient Aztec rituals to vibrant depictions of mariachi bands, each radish tells a story, a testament to the rich culture and imagination of Oaxaca. Number 2. Krampusnacht, Austria, Germany, Hungary. December 5th brings a chill to the alpine countries of Austria, Germany, and Hungary, not just from the winter air, but from the ancient tradition of Krampusnacht. As the sun sets, the streets come alive with the eerie sound of bells and chains, heralding the arrival of Krampus, the horned companion of Saint Nicholas. In a small village nestled in the snowy mountains, Klaus transforms into Krampus, donning a fearsome mask and tattered fur. With a mischievous glint in his eyes, he sets out to teach the naughty children a lesson they won't forget. It's all in good fun, Klaus chuckles, his voice muffled behind the mask. But you should see the looks on their faces when Krampus comes knocking. The night echoes with the clatter of hooves and the howls of laughter and fright. Children peer out from behind curtains, torn between excitement and trepidation as Krampus and Saint Nicholas make their rounds. It's a dance of light and shadow, tradition and folklore, reminding everyone that the holiday season is not just about presents, but about the age-old battle between good and evil. Number 3. Famadihana, Turning of the Bones, Madagascar. In the rolling hills of Madagascar, there's a tradition that defies the passage of time. Every 7 years, families gather for Famadihana, the turning of the bones, a celebration of life, death, and the enduring bond with ancestors. As the sun dips below the horizon, the air is filled with the beat of drums and the aroma of fresh herbs. Amelia, a young woman with deep reverence in her eyes, unwraps the shroud of her great-grandmother. The bones, now polished and lovingly adorned with new cloth, seem to whisper tales of generations past. "It's our way of honoring those who came before us," she says softly, her voice carrying a weight of respect and tradition. As the night unfolds, the rhythm of the drums grows stronger, and families dance with their ancestors under the starlit sky. It's a dance of remembrance and connection, a reminder that even in death, the spirit lives on. In this sacred ritual, Madagascar finds a way to bridge the gap between the earthly and the ethereal, weaving a tapestry of love and legacy. Number 4. Takanakui, Peru. In the rugged Andes of Peru, there's a tradition that speaks to the resilience of communities. Takanakui, the annual festival of fistfights, is not about violence but about resolution. As the new year approaches, villagers gather in the dusty square, their breath visible in the crisp mountain air. Pedro, a young farmer with a gleam of determination in his eyes, steps into the ring. Across from him stands Miguel, his neighbor and friend, with whom he's had a simmering disagreement over water rights. Without words, they begin to circle each other, fists raised in a dance of conflict and camaraderie. "It's about starting fresh," Pedro says between punches, his voice steady despite the exertion. "After this, we'll share a drink and let bygones be bygones and true to tradition." After the fight is over and the bruises fade, Pedro and Miguel clasp hands, their dispute settled in the ring. As the sun sets behind the snow-capped peaks, the village gathers for feasting and laughter. Takanakui may seem unusual to outsiders, but for these Peruvian communities, it's a time-honored way to clear the slate and embrace the new year with open hearts. Number 5. Haxey, the Witch Trials, Sweden. In the quiet villages of 17th century Sweden, fear gripped the hearts of the populace like a vice. The great Swedish witch hunt, known as Haxey, cast a shadow over the land, leading to accusations, trials, and unspeakable horrors. Anna, a healer with knowledge of herbs, found herself at the center of a storm she couldn't comprehend. "I was just trying to help," Anna whispers, her eyes haunted by memories of the trial. Accused of witchcraft for her healing practices, she endured days of interrogation and torture. The village, gripped by hysteria and suspicion, turned on its own, tearing apart families and lives. As the flames licked the sky and the accused witches met their fate, the village fell silent, the weight of what they had done settling like a heavy fog. Haxey left scars on the land and the people, a reminder of the dangers of fear and ignorance. Today, the ruins of the old courthouse stand as a somber monument to a dark chapter in Swedish history. Number 6. Capuchin Catacombs, Palermo, Italy. Beneath the streets of Palermo, Italy, lies a haunting sight that draws visitors from around the world. The Capuchin catacombs, with their eerie corridors lined with thousands of mummified remains, offer a glimpse into the macabre fascination with death. Maria, a tour guide with a penchant for storytelling, leads visitors through the dimly lit passageways. "Welcome to the realm of the departed," Maria intones, her voice echoing off the stone walls. Each mummy tells a silent story, from the nobleman in his velvet finery to the child clutching a faded toy. The catacombs, started in the 16th century, became a final resting place for the wealthy and the devout, their preserved remains a testament to the passage of time. As visitors walk among the rows of mummies, a sense of reverence and unease fills the air. Some say they can feel the spirits of the departed lingering in the shadows, whispering tales of lives long past. The Capuchin catacombs stand as a haunting reminder of mortality, a place where the boundary between life and death blurs in the flickering candlelight. Number 7. Ghidra Dance, Morocco. In the vast expanse of the Sahara Desert, the Tuareg people perform a dance that echoes with ancient rhythms and mysticism. The Ghidra dance, a sacred ritual performed by women, is a mesmerizing spectacle of trance-like movements and hypnotic drumbeats. Fatima, a dancer with eyes that seem to hold the wisdom of ages, steps into the center of the circle. Watch closely, Fatima whispers, her voice barely audible over the rhythmic drumming. As she begins to move, her body swaying in harmony with the music, it's as if she becomes a vessel for the spirits of the desert. The Ghidra dance is not just a performance, it's a communion with the unseen forces that shape their lives. As the night wears on, the fire crackles and the stars twinkle overhead, the dance reaches its crescendo. Women join hands, their voices rising in a haunting melody that seems to carry across the dunes. In this moment, the boundaries between the earthly and the divine blur, and the Ghidra dance becomes a doorway to the ancient mysteries of the Sahara. Number 8. Day of the Dead, Mexico. In the vibrant streets of Mexico, death is not feared but embraced with open arms. Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, is a celebration of life, remembrance, and the enduring bond with loved ones who have passed on. Miguel, a young artist with a brush in hand, carefully paints a sugar skull with intricate designs. For us, death is not the end, Miguel says, his voice filled with reverence. It's a continuation of the journey, a time to remember and honor those who came before us. Families gather in cemeteries, their faces painted in vibrant hues, to create ofrendas adorned with marigolds, candles, and the favorite foods of the departed. As the scent of copal incense fills the air and the sound of laughter mingles with music, it's clear that Dia de los Muertos is more than a festival, it's a way of life. It's a time when the veil between the living and the dead is at its thinnest, allowing for moments of connection and remembrance. In Mexico, death is not feared but celebrated, a reminder that love transcends even the finality of death. Number 9. Dance Macabre, Dance of Death, Europe. In the shadowy corners of medieval Europe, a haunting allegory took form in art and literature, the dance macabre, or dance of death. Paintings and poems depicted death as a skeletal figure leading people from all walks of life in a grim procession to the grave. Marie, a scholar of medieval history, traces her fingers over the faded parchment of a centuries-old manuscript. The dance macabre was a reminder of the fragility of life, Marie explains, her voice hushed with reverence. It wasn't just about death, it was a commentary on the equality of all in the face of mortality. From kings in their regal robes to peasants in tattered garb, the dance macabre was a sobering reminder that death comes for all. As the Black Death ravaged Europe and wars claimed countless lives, the dance macabre took on new meaning. It wasn't just a work of art, it was a mirror held up to a world plagued by uncertainty and fear. Today, the echoes of the dance of death can still be felt, a haunting reminder of the transience of life and the inevitability of death. Number 10. Thaipusam, Malaysia, Singapore, India. In the bustling streets of Malaysia, Singapore, and India, devotees gather for a festival that pushes the boundaries of devotion, Thaipusam. The air is thick with the scent of incense and the sound of drums as worshippers prepare for acts of extreme penance. Rajesh, a devotee with hooks piercing his skin, walks with purpose towards the temple. "It's a way to show my dedication to Lord Murugan," Rajesh says, his voice steady despite the pain. With each step, the weight of the kavadi, a decorated structure supported by hooks, seems to fade into the background. It's a test of faith and endurance, a way to seek blessings and purification. As Rajesh reaches the temple, the atmosphere crackles with energy. Devotees chant prayers and the air vibrates with the beat of drums, creating a surreal and otherworldly ambience. Thaipusam may seem extreme to outsiders, but for these worshippers, it's a profound expression of faith and a reminder of the lengths they are willing to go for spiritual fulfillment. Number 11. Bone Church, Sedlec Ossuary, Czech Republic. In the quiet town of Kutna Hora, just outside of Prague, lies a church unlike any other. The Sedlec Ossuary, also known as the Bone Church, is a macabre masterpiece of skeletal artistry. Maria, a historian with a fascination for the eerie, steps into the dimly lit chamber, her footsteps echoing off the walls adorned with thousands of bones. "Welcome to the realm of the departed," Maria says, her voice carrying a hint of reverence. The bones, meticulously arranged into chandeliers, coats of arms, and even a bone chalice, create a surreal and haunting atmosphere. "It's a reminder of the transience of life," Maria explains, her words punctuated by the hollow sound of her footsteps. As visitors gaze upon the eerie beauty of the Bone Church, a sense of awe and unease settles over them. Each bone tells a silent story, a testament to the passage of time and the inevitability of death. The Sedlec Ossuary stands as a haunting memorial to the thousands who came before. Their remains now a part of this eerie yet strangely beautiful work of art. Number 12. Witches' Market, La Paz, Bolivia. In the bustling streets of La Paz, Bolivia, lies a market unlike any other, the Mercado de las Brujas, or Witches' Market. Here, vendors peddle potions, herbs, and dried llama fetuses, all believed to possess mystical properties. Maria, a local witch with a twinkle in her eye, offers a potion for prosperity to a curious tourist. "It's all about harnessing the energies of the earth," Maria explains, her hands gesturing towards the array of mystical items. From love potions to protective amulets, the market is a treasure trove of ancient Andean traditions. These are not just trinkets, they're tools for spiritual growth. As tourists wander among the stalls, the air is filled with the aroma of herbs and the sound of vendors haggling. Some come seeking love, others protection or prosperity, but all are drawn to the mystical allure of the Witches' Market. It's a place where ancient traditions thrive amidst the modern bustle of the city, a reminder of Bolivia's rich and mystical heritage. Number 13. Crying the Corpse, Ireland. In the Emerald Hills of Ireland, a tradition once filled the air with haunting melodies, the practice of crying the corpse. Mary, an elderly woman with a voice like an angel, remembers the days when she was called upon to keen at funerals. "It was an honor and a burden," she says, her eyes glistening with memories. As the mourners gathered, Mary's voice would rise in a mournful lament, echoing through the valley. The keening was more than just a ritual, it was a way to guide the departed to the afterlife, easing their journey with song. It's a tradition that's fading. Mary sighs, her voice trailing off. Today, the practice of crying the corpse is rare, a relic of a bygone era. Yet, in the quiet villages of Ireland, the echoes of those haunting melodies still linger, a reminder of the power of music to soothe even the souls of the departed. Number 14. Hungry Ghost Festival, China. In the bustling cities of China, the Hungry Ghost Festival casts a spectral shadow over the streets. As the gates of the underworld open, the spirits of the departed roam the earth, seeking offerings from the living. Mei, a young woman with offerings of fruit and incense, bows before an altar adorned with paper effigies. "We offer food and burn incense to appease the hungry ghosts," Mei explains, her voice carrying the weight of tradition. From towering paper houses to intricate paper cars, the offerings are elaborate and symbolic. It's a way to ensure good fortune and protection for the coming year. As the smoke from burning incense curls into the night sky, the streets come alive with lanterns and offerings. The Hungry Ghost Festival is a time of both reverence and caution, a reminder to honor the spirits of the departed lest they bring misfortune. In China, the boundary between the living and the dead is at its thinnest during this ghostly festival. Number 15. Corpse Roads, England. In the mist-shrouded countryside of medieval England, the dead were carried along paths known as corpse roads. These winding pathways, lined with gnarled trees and ancient stones, were believed to guide the departed to their final resting place. James, a local historian with a love for the eerie, walks along one of these ancient paths. These roads were haunted by spirits, James explains, his voice barely above a whisper. Locals would carry the coffin along a different path on the return journey to confuse any malevolent ghosts who might try to follow. It was a way to ensure the safe passage of the departed. As James walks along the corpse road, the wind whispers through the trees, and the shadows seem to dance in the moonlight. The ancient stones stand as silent sentinels, marking the way for souls on their final journey. In this eerie landscape, the boundary between the living and the dead is blurred, and the corpse roads carry stories of love, loss, and the eternal cycle of life and death. Number 16. The Bell Witch haunting Tennessee, USA. In the rolling hills of Tennessee, a legend as old as the land itself still sends shivers down the spine. The Bell Witch haunting. John, a local storyteller with a flair for the dramatic, gathers visitors around a crackling fire to recount the tale. It all started with strange noises, he begins, his voice low and ominous. The Bell family claimed they were tormented by a malevolent spirit known as the Bell Witch. Doors slammed shut, objects flew across the room, and eerie voices whispered in the darkness. It was like something out of a nightmare, John says, his eyes wide with excitement. As the haunting intensified, word spread, and curious onlookers came from far and wide to witness the supernatural phenomena. Even today, the old Bell family homestead stands as a reminder of those terrifying days. The Bell Witch haunting remains a chilling legend, a testament to the enduring power of the unknown in the hills of Tennessee. Number 17. The Island of the Dolls, Mexico. In the quiet canals of Xochimilco, near Mexico City, an island shrouded in mystery and eerie dolls awaits the brave-hearted. The Isla de las Muñecas, or the Island of the Dolls. Juan, a local boatman with weathered hands, ferries visitors through the murky waters to this haunting place. Legend has it, it all started with one doll, Juan says, his voice tinged with superstition. The story goes that Don Julian Santana Barrera found a drowned girl and hung her doll in a tree as a sign of respect. Yet the island seemed to thirst for more dolls, and soon Don Julian found himself hanging dolls in the trees to appease the restless spirits. Some say the dolls come alive at night, Juan whispers, his eyes darting towards the shadows. These tales, though strange and sometimes unsettling, offer a glimpse into the rich tapestry of cultures and traditions that span the globe. From eerie rituals to haunting legends, each story carries with it the weight of history and the enduring fascination with the unknown. And that's it from this video. See you in the next one.